And welcome to another coding solution video explaining code forces, good subarrays, and this is also part of Unit 1, prefix sums. So in this problem, we're given an array of size n with just a bunch of numbers as always, and all we're looking for is a good subarray, and let me define good for you guys. So let's take a look at the sample case and then I'll explain it using the sample test case. Let's say that our array A is equal to 1, 2, 0, as in the problem explanation. A good subarray, there are three good subarrays. Good subarrays, because let's take a look at some of the subarrays. 1 is a subarray, but what is the size of 1? The size is equal to 1, but notice the sum of this is also equal to 1. So since these two are equal to each other, that's a good subarray. Let's also take a look at 2, 0. The size, once again, is going to be 2, and the sum is also 2. Since these two match, this is a good subarray. And let's take a look at 1, 2, 0. Since the size is a 3, and the sum is a 3, this is also going to be a good subarray. So these are all of our good subarrays. So our question gives us t test cases. And we also have the length n, so that's the length of our array, and we're gonna have n different numbers on the next line, so n numbers on the next line. So each number is a digit, okay? So let's take a look at how to solve this problem now. So we're going to be using prefix sums to find the sum, and we're going to initialize prefix sums for the array of the input. Let's take a look at what I mean. But before we do that, how do we know if an array is a good subarray in terms of variables? Well, let's take a look at this. So from interval x, notice that this sign means inclusive, and the circular brackets means exclusive. So if we have from index x all the way till index y, or not including index y, the size of this array is going to be y minus x. That's the size. But notice, as always, we can use prefix sums to calculate the sum of that subarray. So on the other side is going to be the sum. So we know that if this holds true, then it is a good subarray. So this implies it's a good subarray. So I've turned our sigma notation in our problem into something more readable. If y minus x is equal to prefix sum of y minus prefix sum of x, this is a good subarray. Now, we can rearrange this equation such that the prefix sum of y minus y is going to be the prefix sum of x minus x. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to calculate how many values of py minus y do we have? Let's take a look. So, our original subarray A in our problem was 1, 2, 0, and our prefix sum array is going to be equal to 1, 3, 3 like this. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to compare my prefix sum array, and I'm also going to compare my indexes. So my index here is going to be 0, 1, 2 like this. And I'm going to pair up our numbers, 1 and 0, 3 and 1, and 3 and 2 like this. And when I subtract them, I get 1, I get 2, and I also get 1 here. So these values are going to be values of px minus x, where px represents our prefix sum, and x just represents the index number once again. And I'm going to use a map to keep track of this. So let's say that this is the key and that's the value as always. My key is going to be pi minus I. So in this case, the two possible values are either 1 or 2. So I'm just going to write them over here. The key, or the difference between prefix sum and the index, is 1 or 2. And let's count how many we have. So I have 1, 2. So the value is going to be 2. And for here, it's just going to be 1. So now I have constructed my map. Now I have my map. Now what should I do with the values of the map? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just use combinations. So I have, okay, I need to choose some values. Choose two values such from the same key, Because remember, what was the condition for an array to be a good subarray? It is that py must be equal to py minus y must be equal to px minus x. So I have to choose two of the same values, from this array. So my answer is just going to be the sum of the combination of number of values in a key, and I'm going to choose two elements from that. So that's just going to be simply our answer. And remember, combination formula, and choose 2 is going to be equal to n times n minus 1 over 2, like that. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.